Footballers are renowned for their admirable sportsmanship, but sometimes even they can lose control. In the adrenaline-filled pitch where emotions are all-time high, it's no surprise that even footballers can resort to violence. In this video, let's have a look at moments when football players lose control. It's not pretty, but it did give us some of the most iconic moments in football history. One of the most infamous incidents happened during the 2014 FIFA World Cup during the match between Uruguay and Italy, when Luis Suarez from Uruguay savagely bit Italian defender Giorgio Chiellini's shoulder. But what caused such a severe reaction? Quite frankly, nothing. Like in any other football match, they fought to maintain the same position when Suarez let his primal instinct take over. After the feral attack, Chiellini immediately collapsed in pain, and the referee was called to review the situation. As expected, Suarez was found guilty and given the longest ban ever for biting an opponent. He was banned for 9 whole matches and also fined about $112,000. In my opinion, it was definitely not worth it. Later on, Suarez wrote a 2-sentence apology on Twitter, saying he was ashamed for losing his mind and would gladly accept any punishment that FIFA deemed necessary. Coincidentally, our next incident includes a defender too, but unlike Chiellini this time, the defender was the provoker. The legendary player of France, Zinedine Zidane, who helped France win the 1998 World Cup, is well known for staying calm and collected. In many cases, even if he could retaliate, he would not. However, in the 2006 World Cup final, during the fierce match between France and Italy, Zidane broke his character. But quite honestly, you cannot blame him. After all, the victim, or more like the instigator, Marco Materazzi, has a history of trash-talking the players with such harsh words that they would instinctively retaliate with vigor and, in this case, a headbutt. Both the countries were neck-to-neck when Materazzi fouled Zidane. Contrary to how Zidane usually handled fouls, he got up and started an aggressive verbal argument. However, Materazzi seemingly crossed a line, and the enraged French player headbutted Materazzi in the chest. And just like that, the outstanding career of the French legend came to a bitter end with a red card and a penalty defeat. One could say this was the most expensive headbutt that cost the entire nation a World Cup trophy. Later, Zidane apologized for his outburst and explained it by saying Materazzi had provoked him. To this day, we have no idea what Materazzi said, but many fans speculate that he attacked Zidane's mother or sister. Whatever the case may be, with Materazzi's history, it's not hard to believe. At least Zidane was fouled and provoked, unlike Darwin Núñez from Benfica, who punched his opponent Sebastian Coates from Sporting CP for an accidental collision over a challenge in the 2022 Primeira Liga match. Coates and Núñez came face-to-face during the match, and Coates challenged the latter. This unexpectedly infuriated Núñez. As a result, he lost himself and punched Coates' face with all his might. It was an immediate red card for the player, and he was later banned for 3 matches and fined a hefty amount of $11,300. This was indeed an unjustified reaction fueled by Núñez's ego, because in no way was the challenge malicious. He just couldn't handle such a taunt. But it's not only the pitch where the players lose their temper, sometimes even fans have it coming for them. Such was the case in the 2022 Premier League match between Everton and Chelsea. After the match where Everton faced defeat, the team's player, Richarlison de Andrade, walked off the pitch when a fan racially attacked him with slurs and allegedly called him monkey. And Richarlison, like most of us, retaliated by kicking the fans in the back. Although violence should be condemned in any circumstance, I think this is one of the few moments where we can understand the harsh reaction. Racism in football has always been prevalent, even if many of the most iconic players have been people of color, and at some point someone is bound to speak up. However, Richarlison faced repercussions and was banned for 3 matches, whereas the fan was banned from matches for 3 years. Quite frankly, he got away with a light punishment for his derogatory words. Altercations with fans are nothing new. Even the GOAT of football and all-time legend, Cristiano Ronaldo, had an outburst with a fan, and in this case, surprisingly, the philanthropic Ronaldo was at fault. In 2022, during a match against Everton, Ronaldo was substituted with a younger player, which many speculate is the reason for his outburst. While walking off the pitch, the camera caught him kicking away a fan's mobile. Fortunately, the fan wasn't harmed, but his phone was shattered. Real Madrid condemned Ronaldo's action, and though he wasn't banned for many matches, he was fined a whopping $130,000. This incident shows the harsh reality that even our idols can let loose their emotions. But plenty of big names besides Ronaldo have had public outbursts on the pitch. The flirtatious Brazilian Neymar has also had his share of controversy. The 2018 FIFA World Cup birthed several memes when Neymar was seen diving and rolling every time he was fouled. And the number of times he was tripped might come as a surprise. Just in Brazil's match against Switzerland, he was tripped an astounding 10 times. This was especially prevalent when in Brazil's quarter-finals against Belgium, Neymar was tripped several times. His reaction to this was rolling further than the ball itself and being subjected to so many fouls. His angry reactions got worse and even more dramatic. This was bad publicity for Neymar as international media tarnished his reputation for his actions. However, most people failed to realize that after his 2014 back injury, he was bound to call out players who regularly fouled immediately, and this was his way of doing it. This was especially true because Neymar had a massive positive effect on Brazil's national team as they lost in a legendary match against Germany without him. While Neymar played more of a mind game regarding injuries, some moments on the field led to full-blown fights. In a moment of madness, a famous altercation happened between rising talents Lee Bowyer and Kieran Dyer in 2005. More surprisingly, a fight happened between two Newcastle players in a match against Aston Villa in 2005. Bowyer and Dyer were a midfield duo. With the competitiveness of chasing the ball and the frustration of losing the match, both players broke out in a scrap, with several players rushing to stop them. This ended in a lose-lose situation as Bowyer and Dyer were sent off the field. Bowyer in particular was banned for 6 games and also charged by Northumbria police. It's no wonder their reputations still haven't healed from such a heavy blow. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out our channel. Leave a like and comment down below on what you want to see next. Until next time, goodbye!